let's start with the good, right?
Right.
The bad is the easy conversation. Let's start with the good, right? Let's start with the quarterback, right? You mentioned it. Jalen Hurts, no turnovers. Versus Jacksonville, he goes 18 for 24, completing 75% of his passes on the day, 230 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns, a 132.3 passer rating. He also gives you 13 carries. Now, you can take away 3 of them because he did kneel it 3 times at the end of the game. So basically, he gave you 10 carries for 67 yards, averaging over 5 yards an attempt, 1 rushing touchdown, no turnovers. No turnovers. Clean, effective football. Picking his spot to win to impact the game, keeping drives alive. The Philadelphia Eagles, if I'm not mistaken, they were well over 50% on 3rd down. 4th down, that's another conversation. We're going to get into that. But then over the past 4 games, 60 for 83 for Jalen Hurts, 72% completion percentage, 844 pass yards, averaging 10 yards an attempt, 6 passing touchdowns, an average rating of 127.5. He gives you 44 additional carries, 159 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, no turnovers. He's been clean. He's been potent. He's been completely dominant of the opposition. Give me your breakdown, your perspective of the journey Jalen Hurts has had to travel from week 1 up until now. Symone, let's start with you.
I would say really just blocking out the noise and staying true to himself. There was a lot of noise early on because, again, there was a lot of mistakes, a lot of turnovers, but I'm just glad that he never lost his confidence. Whether that was a boost with A.J. Brown coming back, whether it was the bye week, whatever it was, him staying confident. You heard Devontae Smith saying yesterday that big catch, that big touchdown catch Devontae Smith had, that's just the confidence. He said that's the confidence that we have in each other. So, like, still being confident making those throws in those tight windows, and not losing his confidence because he was a little, the turnovers was a little issue early on. So I'm just glad that he is still Timothy. He stayed poised. He stayed true to it. Yeah, Jalen's been going crazy. We even seen with the legs, him just being so much extending for the first downs. We saw that yesterday too, him extending for the first down, but still taking care of the ball. We saw that in the game against the Bengals as well. Them legs coming back. So I'm just glad that we clicking in at the right time. We was a little funky early on, but we got that funk out the way early. These other teams was getting funky late. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you're right. We definitely peaked. We peaked at the right time. And Jalen ain't do nothing that I didn't expect him to do. You know what I mean? People said they wanted to see more after the Browns game. I'm like, no, he already back. I already knew what time it was. You know what I mean? I could tell how the way Jalen Hurts is approaching the game right now is that he got eyes in the back of his head, damn near. He watching out for the strip sack. He watching out for everything. He is protecting that ball like it's nobody's business. So, the bounce back of Jalen Hurts, it almost makes sense. You're talking about a guy who was in MVP conversations the last two seasons at some point during the season in them seasons. When we was 10-1, they was talking about Jalen being MVP. Then the team collapse happened. You don't get that. He had second team All Pro the year prior to that. This time around, you know what I mean? After the Dollars win, we're going to start talking about Jalen Hurts being in MVP conversations again. Didn't Minnesota just lose? Or did they win?
Yes.
I don't know what happened over there. Minnesota just lost.
Minnesota is currently on a 2-game losing streak.
That's what I'm saying. Minnesota lost. You know what I mean? Who else could you be talking about being that guy in the NFC
LB,
not Jalen Hurts right now?
I think the point you're making right now is a good one, and that is, and you said it already, the Philadelphia Eagles are hitting their stride at the right time, whereas all these teams that came out hot are starting to, in some shape or form, decline or, for lack of better terms, come back to earth.
Exactly.
Right? The New Orleans Saints, very much, they're in the dirt. They beyond back to earth. They're in the dirt. Who came out very hot. They were considered one of the hottest offenses in the first 2 or 3 weeks, right? Then they met us and we broke them. So that's that. Nobody want to talk about that, but we'll leave that where it's at. Then the Minnesota Vikings, Sam Darnold. Oh my God, have they figured him out? Have they solved the Sam Darnold puzzle? Is he an MVP candidate? 2-game losing streak. He's back to earth. He loses to the Colts last night without Anthony Richardson to a backup. They actually won last night. I take that back. No, who won last night? The Colts or the Vikings?
I don't know. Some people are saying the Vikings won. I'm not sure.
Hold on, wait. I'm losing my mind here. I'm losing my mind here.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but see,
Minnesota won. I apologize.
Minnesota did one.
Minnesota won last night, but they were coming off of a 2-game losing streak. My apologies. So my timeline was off. The bottom line is Minnesota's coming off of a 2-game losing streak, losing to Detroit, losing to Los Angeles. They bounced back with the win against the Colts, an inferior opponent, as they should. But again, my point still stands. We're seeing these teams come back to earth, and we're seeing a lot of teams hitting their stride or maintaining, right? The Lions, they came out hot, they're maintaining. The Eagles start off a little slow, 6-2 record, back on their stride. The Washington Commanders pretty much started out strong. So we're starting to see the separation now, LB. We're starting to see, okay, who are the real contenders in the NFC? The Lions are for sure a contender, right? The Eagles are for sure a contender. Washington,
The Falcons.
I think the Falcons are a contender, but whether we want to believe it or not, they are a contender. I had them winning their division, and I was right on that so far. And you had to add Washington to that fold because of their record. Now, granted, rookie quarterback roster is still overachieving.
Right.
Maybe they win the playoff game, but those are the 4 teams that have really separated themselves: Lions, Eagles, Washington, and you said the
Falcons.
Falcons.
So yeah,
Simple as that.
so yeah. When you think about those quarterbacks, the Lions, you know what I mean. Jared Goff been in the Super Bowl. Did you name the Vikings? I don't trust Sam Darnold when it comes down to it. You know what I mean? And I don't trust Kirk Cousins. He never been outside of the second round. So when you look at these guys in a nutshell, Jalen Hurts is the guy. Jalen Hurts is probably the best quarterback in the NFC, but he just had to go out there and remind guys and show guys. So it's no surprise to me what Jalen Hurts is doing. What you rather be, man? I'd rather figure it out around this time of year than get figured out around this time of year. See, we had to figure it out. You know what I mean? We had a lot of new components, a lot of things we had to work through. We worked through the injury bug. We worked through a lot of adversity, and we 6-2. We 6-2. A lot of people ain't even had a bye week yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
We 6-2. We went through everything we went through already so far. So you know what I mean? I'm cool. I'm cool in the spot that we in. Man. Josh Sweat is coming alive. You know what I mean? The pass rush is looking like it's getting better and better. Things are happening. You got young rookies that's stepping up all over the field. Guys on rookie deals stepping up all over the field. The only thing that can hold us back is the man of the hour. It's all about surviving Sirianni. It's all about surviving Sirianni, Tone. I ain't gonna hold you, man. It's about surviving Sirianni. It was so much good in that game.
So much.
Yesterday,
Did
Tone,
this man say survive?
Yep.
That sounds like a documentary.
Surviving Sirianni sound like a documentary.
Surviving Siri. That's what I'm calling it. I got my guy working on my thumbnail now. Last night was episode 1.
Hold on. Because y'all know it's lunchtime, so I'm in the middle of making my food. Before we get on Nick, I gotta comment on what you said about Jalen. Jalen's definitely the best. Who's better? What quarterback in the NFC would you take over Jalen?
Symone, I'm glad you asked that question because I want to.
That's a good question.
I want to throw some stats. I want to throw some stats at
Nobody.
I want to throw some stats at you guys to show you guys that having this high-powered passing offense, throwing the ball 30 plus times a game is overrated. I'm gonna tell you why. Right? Listen to this. When it comes to both the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles, who are clearly the best teams in the NFC, right? Detroit is ranked 30th in the NFL in pass attempts. They're throwing the ball an average of 27 times a game. The Philadelphia Eagles, they're ranked 32nd, last in the NFL in pass attempts, averaging 27 attempts per game. You get to the rushing side. Both of these teams are in the top 10 as far as rushing yards. Eagles are ranked 2nd. Detroit is ranked 6th. Both of these teams are, I want to say, middle of the pack when it comes to passing yards. Philadelphia is ranked 20th in passing yards when it comes to 202 yards per game, and then Detroit is 217. Both of these offenses are extremely balanced. They run the ball very well. They're not overexposing their quarterbacks, right?
But this is the thing. This is the difference, though, Tone, with the Eagles' offense and Detroit to a degree versus a lot of other offense.
They play very similarly.
They do play similarly, but the Eagles do it different. The Eagles lead the league in 40-yard plays.
Yes.
So we have those explosive plays. When we do pass the ball, the top might get taken off. I think Jalen got to be a top 3 deep ball thrower in the game.
Yes, he is.
You know what I mean?
Yes, he is.
He got to be a top 3 deep ball thrower in the game. So when we do, you know what I mean, have an explosive play, Saquon is also capable of having a 40-yard run, which he's done this year. AJ has a 40-yard reception. Smitty has a 40-yard reception. Dallas Goedert has a 40-yard reception. You know what I mean? We have big plays, and we're extremely balanced. So you know, you got to pick your poison with us. And we knew this coming into the season. This football team is built to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree with that. I also wanted to comment on, because I was in the kitchen. You talking about the real contenders. I would say my real contenders is us, Falcons, Washington, Lions. I would say those are the real contenders. We'll see what the Rams start cooking. We'll see.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact.
The Rams been in the kitchen, but we'll see if they can keep that G up. We'll see. Because they've been under the radar a little bit, and they've been getting healthy, and they've been doing some stuff. Now, I will say this. I do not want to see the Falcons getting Ojulari. I saw that they're pressed. They're hot and pressed for Ojulari. They blowing up that phone.
From the Giants?
I will say, I do not want to see the Falcons getting stronger. I don't want to see that.
I ain't want him to see. I want to see him get Matt Judon. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I ain't want to see that.
Yeah, the trade deadline is here, and teams are definitely going to start making moves. And when you look at the Eagles and the Lions in the conference, you kind of look at them and say, where are your real holes? Now, granted, we know the Lions are probably going to make a play for Zadarius
Dang,
Smith.
we did. I did forget about we did forget about it. I forgot all about the 49ers.
The 49ers.
If they get healthy,
they're not even above 500. I can't acknowledge that.
Okay, but we can't not deny that they've had hella injuries and still been
guess what?
In the mix.
We've had our own fair share. You got to weather the storm.
I'm not saying, and they've won games despite injury. Yeah, I'm saying you can't say when they get Christian back, when they get all them boys back, that they still not going to be a threat.
Because you're not getting Ayuk back, and I don't think it's even smart to even bring Christian back. They say Christian, he ain't got no cartilage in his knees. He got something going on. He got a bone on bone. Christian got what Buddy had, Jai, I think.
When?
We'll see.
We definitely got to see. But I think the Philadelphia Eagles need to bulk up what we got going on, though. I think we need to. I think what the Eagles need to do. Now, a lot of y'all gonna disagree with me. They need to get on the phone and they need to call Bill Belichick right now
and do what?
And trade him for Sirianni. We cannot keep dancing around it. We got to talk about it.
All right,
we cannot keep dancing.
No, he was going to talk about. Are we done with all the positives? Because
I'm not. I still got a lot of positives. I only talked about one guy. That was Jalen Hurts. I got so many more positives.
Okay. Let's get to it. Let's move on.
Let's get the positives out the way real quick. Because it was Victory Monday.
All right, let's talk about Saquon now. Saquon, phenomenal performance. The brother is spectacular. The brother not human. He's an alien. He's a Martian. You feel what I'm saying? Against Jacksonville, 27 carries, 159 on the ground, averaging almost 6 yards an attempt, 1 touchdown on the ground, gave you 3 catches, 40 receiving yards, averaging 13 yards of reception, a touchdown on a wheel route. Man, toe drag swag. The bull is a demon. I mean, he made the one cut, then hit him with the spin, and a backwards hurdle. Who the hell was doing a backwards hurdle? Somebody explain to me what I saw. LB, please.
Was it
a glitch in the matrix? I mean, like, did he discover he was the one in that moment?
There's no explanation for what you just saw. What you just saw was somebody who is a generational talent. That's what you saw. You saw generational talent. See, and this is what I hate when we got Saquon Barkley. Everybody want to act like they forgot. They forgot. You know what I mean? Oh, Bijan, generational. No. Before you ever heard of a Bijan or any of these other people, it was Saquon Barkley first. Saquon Barkley. Bijan can't do what you just seen Saquon Barkley do. There's nobody that could do what you just seen Saquon Barkley do. Giants fans wanted to tell us that Saquon Barkley was washed. He ain't got no burst. Saquon Barkley, 75 yards away from having a sack already. We ain't never had nobody get. Saquon Barkley will have 1,000 yards after the Cowboys game. We ain't never had nobody have 1,000 yards after week 9, week 10, whatever week is going to be. We never had that in Eagles history.
And
That ain't Eagles history.
Yeah, over 1,000 yards from scrimmage already. Over 1,000 yards from scrimmage.
No,
Total
bro, I'm
yards.
talking
Yeah.
about rushing.
Oh, just
He already
rushing.
got
Yes.
he got over 1,000 from scrimmage already, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. If it wasn't for Derrick Henry, who was also another physical specimen, generational type talent, Saquon Barkley would be a dark horse MVP candidate, man.
I think he
Dark
is
horse
one.
Man,
MVP candidate. He
I
got
think
to
he's a
be.
candidate. He got to be a
It's
candidate.
not even dark horse, bro. And let me say this. Y'all remember Angels?
And we had a bye. I don't think Baltimore did yet.
Oh, yeah. All that with a bye. Y'all
Mhm.
remember Angels in the outfield, how the Angels was moving G around? That's how it looked with that Saquon Barkley. It's like some angels on the field lifted him up. Because how he floated up. It was like he was like -5 pounds.
When somebody jump like that, they got to generate that power from their legs. He just was on an elevator.
That's what I'm saying. It was like he got lifted up.
You got to bend down and you got to like gather that. Then you jump up. He just was gone. He was up in the air. So he felt something behind him like a cat.
The spin move. But let me say this. This is why I'm a little bit sick of the Falcons. Last night, I'm talking to Dylan about Saquon. I'm like, man, Saquon in his own island. But Bijan. No, Bijan. I said, do not speak another running back. If you want to say Derrick Henry, whatever. Do not speak another running back name in the same mouth as Saquon Barkley. He talking about some Bijan be going crazy too.
Bro, he looked like
that's why
Spider-Man.
the Falcons eliminated.
His Spidey sense was tingling like yesterday.
It definitely was spingling. Bijan be looking crazy. Bijan one cuts is Saquon.
Bijan be looking crazy, but not say it's Saquon.
Nah, Saquon.
And it's some other boys.
No, Saquon just up the score.
That's what I'm saying.
He just up the score, yo.
Bro, first of all,
Bijan.
Listen, the crowd was oohing and ahhing off the spinner. We thought, oh, the spinner was crazy.
And
then the jump after that. Like, he can call somebody to die because you always say, "Oh, what you can't say, oh," in the same 3 second spinner. You gonna lose your breath and die.
Yo,
breathtaking, bro.
Every time I see the play, all I can say to myself is, "Yo, this is stupid, yo.
This
is stupid." Like he said he was just playing ball. Like he said he was on autopilot. He just reacted.
And
that's real. That's real. If it wasn't nobody there when he landed, it would have been the greatest run of all time because nobody would have caught him. He'd have been gone after that.
The amount of creativity required to make a play like that is insane.
And was it not third down when that happened?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was. Yep.
It's the moment too. Like it's the moment. It wasn't just no random. Like all of that captivated in the moment of it being third down. Like you doing that on third down. Like the impact that play had. And
but also at the same time though. You got to shout out to Jalen Hurts for
taking a check down.
He took a lot of check downs. Just get the ball in the guy's hands who can make stuff happen. You know what I mean? Shout out to Jalen Hurts for like just taking that and understanding that this guy can potentially make anybody miss on the football field.
He's been very patient over the past 4. He's very patient, taking what they give him. He's not trying to win the game in one throw. He is literally just chipping away, and then all of a sudden, boom, Devontae Smith. And I'm glad.
The thing is, that's the way they played the game, which makes me so pissed off when we get to the negatives. They played cover. They played a cover 2 high shell the whole game. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they played a quarters defense. But they did not come out there and say AJ Brown and Smitty gonna cook us. They said that's not going to happen today. What's going to happen is we're going to make this dude force throws or take these checkdowns, and we're going to rally to the ball. When you play the game like that, you got to understand that points come at a premium.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's
points
a very
come at a premium.
Very good point by you. Very good point.
You got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to take the points. But Saquon was definitely a bright spot. And it seems like Smitty too, man. When Smitty don't have AJ, Smitty turn into something different.
Yeah.
When we got to lean on Devontae Smith more, he turns into something different. And he was also one of the big catalysts for bailing out Nick Sirianni and his poor decisions because Smitty caught that deep crossing route. Then he was also able to
that was a beautiful throw by Hurts, wasn't it? It was a beautiful throw.
It was a dot. It was a dot.
Yeah.
It was a dot.
The spiral was tight. It was
a dot.
It was off the charts. I mean, Devontae Smith, 6 targets, 4 catches, 87 yards, averaging 21 yards in a reception today or yesterday. 1 touchdown, quarter 46-yard dime from Hurts on the crosser, like you mentioned. The one-handed go-ahead touchdown. The amount of focus that he exercised in that moment. Snag ball, toe drag, I mean, the ball's draping over his back. Jalen Hurts says he didn't even have a clear picture, but he knew exactly where he was going to be because they practiced that rep so many times. And I feel like we're seeing. Okay, when it comes to Devontae Smith, right? He doesn't always get the targets, right? In some games he may have one target, then he may have 6 or 7 another game. But what stands out to me about Devontae Smith is his ability to stay focused in these moments, right? It's so easy for when you're not getting targets, it's easy to tune out during the game. It's easy to tune out. And guys drop passes. We've seen that happen on so many different occasions. The guy don't see no targets until the third quarter. Now he can't catch a ball to save his life. His ability to just stay focused and always stay ready for some of the toughest catches. Like that catch was a heat check catch. That's not a 4 reception, 3 reception type of day catch. You catch that when you got about 8 in the bank already. You feel what I'm saying? Like he was the glove, bro. We're gonna start calling him the glove, dog. Seriously, shout out to Gary Payne.
Yeah. The glove, the glove 2.0. And the thing about it is he ain't a diva. So that's why he's always ready. He don't never get too rattled.
Diva.
You feel me? That's why he don't get too rattled. He never too high in his emotions. He happy when other people eat. But when he score, you're gonna hear a whole lot of bleeping it out because that's a dog. That's a Heisman winner. You know what I mean? That's a Heisman winner.
Devontae Smith, bro, be having to make the craziest catches, bro.
Always.
The other first down catch he had when it was like defender coming in flying and like he had 0.0002 seconds to make a play, and then that touchdown catch. Devontae got to be doing. He be having to make the craziest catches. It's either like right on the boundary where he got to do some crazy tap dancing, or it's extremely contested and he got to do some crazy shit. How about Dot though? Dot,
yeah, shout out to Dot.
Dot after Dot.
Big Dot. Jahan Dotson with that. Come on, bro. Jahan Dotson.
So many people showed their potential and so many people stepped up in this game yesterday. It was just, and I saw a little creativity. I saw some of Kellen Moore. Kyle Katerra been stepping up since Dallas Goedert been out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? He's been stepping up since Dallas Goedert been out. And that makes me believe that when Dallas Goedert come back, that we can run some of these 2 sets. You know what I mean? Like we're evolving as an offense, and I can see the fingerprints that Kellen Moore has on his defense. Now, on the offense. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, I'm beyond impressed. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Quinyon Mitchell and Isaiah Rodgers had that joint a no-fly zone, bro. It was a complete no-fly zone. Nothing was coming through nothing was coming through in Quinyon International Airport, and in Rodgers International Airport, wasn't nothing else coming through either. It just was locked down. And the linebacking play yesterday, I haven't seen linebacker play like that since Trotter Pop was playing, bro. I ain't seen linebacker play like that since then. This defense, they ready. Gardner Johnson flying to the ball still. Cooper DeJean still. Stop trying Cooper DeJean on 4th down, too.
Bro.
Stop trying him on 4th down thinking he the weakest link. It's not going nobody way. You know what I mean? It was a total, this is the best roster in Eagles history probably, bro. It's the best roster in Eagles history, and you got a chance to make it better because the trade deadline is right there for the taking. It's right there.
I think we got our positives out the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Now.
Not the States. No, yeah, Rodgers got beat on that 1 4th down, but other than that, I think people was overreacting for that 1 4th down.
Just to add context to Rodgers,
it was on lock, bro.
A lot of people kind of said, they was kind of giving him hell a little bit, but he was targeted 5 times. Trevor Lawrence went 1 for 5, 16 yards, a 39.6 passer rating when targeting Isaiah Rodgers. So that's pretty much his performance, and that was pretty solid. Pretty solid.
For a first start.
Sidney Brown working. He taking advantage of his snaps too. I don't want to forget about Sidney Brown. He's taking advantage of his snaps.
Absolutely. Quinyon Mitchell was steady again.
Nakobe down.
That we got to give proper reverence to Nakobe. He's been stringing it together. He's been stringing it together. He's been making game-changing plays. I mean, having 2 sack games, a game-sealing interception. He's been good in run defense. I mean, Nakobe is playing like somebody who has been doubted.
Yep.
And let's be fair to him. we never really got a chance to see him play continuous snaps because of injuries, or his rookie year, he doesn't get any time at all. Year 2, he's hurt. We never seen him play continuously. This is our first time seeing him play a stretch, and
he's on pace for 100 tackles. So is Zach Bond.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
We gotta
Bond
pay
might
Zach.
run around. You got to pay Zach now. You got to pay Zach this week. Whenever he's eligible, you got to pay Zach this week. Because right now you can get Zach on a nice 2-year deal.
Sure.
Zach gonna be all pro, and then he gonna be Pro Bowl or whatever. He gonna try up the score. You got to get him now. You got to get Zach Bond paid now.
Right.
That's what I would do.
Now, y'all said it. Negatives. Nick Sirianni infamously left well over a touchdown on the board, be it off of failed 2-point conversions, not taking the field goal on 4th down. Nick Sirianni took a minimum of 7 to 9 points off the board. And he needs to be drug tested. Because there are certain situations where you cannot, and I repeat, cannot not take the points. When you're dominating an opponent like this, you don't have to always get touchdowns. You're going to get your touchdowns because you're that good. But when you got an opportunity to put more points on the board, just to add that extra bit of pressure, because pressure is pressure. No matter if it's 2 bricks or 5 bricks, you're still carrying a brick. So therefore, if you got a touchdown or you're about 14 points, 14-0, and you got a chance to make it a 3-possession game, because I look at the game as far as possessions, not just the score. How many possessions will it take for them to recover? And when you just when you kick a field goal to make it 17-0, that's 3 possessions. When you try to go for 2, okay, if you get it, that's 3 possessions still. But if you don't get it, now it's only 2 possessions. So why take that unnecessary risk? He took a lot of ugly risk yesterday, and there's a thin line between being aggressive and being reckless. That man was reckless yesterday.
I'd be surprised if we win a Super Bowl with him as our coach. I ain't gonna lie. With how good this football team is and everything we got surrounding us, I'd be surprised if the Philadelphia Eagles win a Super Bowl with him. You see, I'm gonna just say it like that. I'm not gonna say we can't win a Super Bowl with him. I've been on a get him out of here train since the way last season ended. Nick Sirianni is arrogant. Nick Sirianni wants it to be known that he is in control some way, and he almost botched that game yesterday. He risked injury with the way that he coached the game, because that tush push shit, if teams got a beat on it, just take the points. You talking about being up 16-0 and then going for 2. It don't even make sense, man. Well, you could just kick the extra point and then make it a 3-possession game. You could the fourth and three, going on for 4th and 3 instead of kicking the field goal don't make sense.
4th and inches.
No, it was 1 4th and 3 to AJ and get 2. But when points are coming at a premium, you're not even letting them score. And you see that they're not letting you get the big play at the moment. Take the points. It just doesn't make sense. It's arrogance. It's something in his brain that just ain't clicking. This is not how none of the great coaches would approach the game. This not. And unfortunately, you ain't going to win like this playing against Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Doug Peterson is a better coach than Nick Sirianni. Almost caught him. Doug almost caught you. Almost caught you being slow like that. You can't even beat Dan Quinn like that. You can't beat the Campbells. You can't beat a lot of people playing with this type of philosophy. And people want to run around here with this mindset like a win is a win. You can't a win is a win your way to a Super Bowl. You got to play the game the right way. The advanced analytics stuff has ruined it. And you nerds on Twitter, stop getting in my messages talking about advanced analytics. I don't want to hear none of that, bro. I don't care what no computer told you what you should do. You know how to count, and you know that this thing is by 7s or 8s, and you know how possessions are generated in the National Football League, or calculated, I should say. Like, come on, man, let's cut it out, bro. That was laughable, bro. He almost threw the game away. A game we was up by 22 win.
22, bro.
I don't care about the fumble.
22-0.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't care about the fumble. Yeah, it was a bad call, but that was in the league from time to time. They miss one, and it costs you some points. But had we taken the points that was there for us to take, they would, even if they got the touchdown and went out and they got 8 points out of that. They got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, right? It wouldn't have mattered because we'd already took points. It still would have been a
Mhm.
2-possession game with that had we took our points. And then this is the part that really bothers me about it, y'all. We don't use Jake Elliott. Then we try to use him on his first attempt, 57 yards.
Exactly.
We iced our
ridiculous.
own kicker.
Ice
We
cream.
iced our own kicker. And I know y'all heard me say that before.
Mhm.
And then to not have the wherewithal. You lost to the Falcons by 1 point, and that's a game you
Exactly.
didn't take the field goal in. To not
Mhm.
understand where you at for real, man. Nick, man, Nick make me nervous, man. Nick Sirianni make me nervous, man. Anybody that think that just because we won that game, we ain't gonna care about it. I'm not trying to hear that, bro. I'm trying to win a championship, bro. I'm not trying to be out here sad at the end of the season with this type of roster. It just don't make
And
no sense.
Yeah.
like you said, to not learn your lesson from the Falcons game, which one was a loss, then to go out and survive a Saints game from the same bullshit. You survived a Saints game. It took a last-minute interception to save that his job in the Saints game for making the exact same mistakes from the Falcons game. Iced Jake Elliott in the Saints game, did the exact same thing, and then to come back, not learn your lesson. I feel like he felt like he's protected by this little win streak, like, oh, we gonna forget because, oh, we've been winning. Let me try my little trickery again. So you're telling me you're up 22-0. They scored 14 points in 14 seconds. And that's not enough to get you to tighten up. Because after that, you drop back on 4th and inches. You drop back on 4th and inches. After that big ass scare we just have. You don't play it safe after that scare. Then you try poor Jake Elliott out there at the end of the game to kick a 6. It's the total mismanagement. And I feel like when we were up on the Jags, when we was clicking and everything, and he wasn't taking the points and he was doing all that, that's disrespectful to these other. You felt like you was on the playground, like, oh, we just playing the Jags. Let me have some fun and go for it here.
Exactly.
Let me have some fun and not take the points. This is a live football game. You see how quickly you know how quickly things can change. You play and you have to maintain no matter what's going on around you. You have to be consistent. That's the consistency. You train the same whether it's raining outside. You train the same whether it's sunny outside. He thought he could play around and have some fun because we had a 2-score lead against the Jags. No, you still have to coach well and be consistent, because if you don't, then a scare like that could come back. A busted play like that, like Saquon, that busted fake play. If you don't coach the way you're supposed to coach, you could let one bad ref call cost you the game. That's some bullshit. I can't believe that. I just can't believe that.
I can't believe it either. You know, the tush push is way too involved in what we got going on for real.
Yeah,
I don't like that, bro.
I'm gonna be honest. It shouldn't be a part of the game plan. It should be we happen to be 4th and 1. Okay, it shouldn't be something you game plan off of, in my opinion.
You should, because people have been stopping it this year. Because we're literally doing it too much. You know what I mean? You don't even bring Jake Elliott out. You line up in the formation hoping somebody could drop off sides just so you can go for it on 2. Like, come on, let's cut it out, bro. Let's cut it out and play regular football, man. Let's cut it out and play regular football, man. Nick Sirianni got to go. We shouldn't have had this conversation at 7-2, y'all, or whatever we is.
All
we
he
on a
got to
4-game winning streak.
His job is easy. He's making his job that much more difficult. Just hit the field goal. You're going up against an inferior opponent. You know they're inferior. They also know they're inferior, but they're going to still play the game because they're professionals. And you go up 22-0 on them. Okay, 22-0. Maybe you made some bad decisions in the first half that we didn't like, but you're still up 22-0 at one point in the game, right? You have a chance to redeem yourself. Just take the points, kick the field goals. A team like that can't come back if you just keep putting points on the board, no matter the fashion. 3 points, a touchdown, like just keep putting points on the board. But when you hurt yourself like this and you damn near negate a spectacular Jalen Hurts performance, you damn near negate a spectacular all-time Saquon Barkley game. We almost got that. Almost was a loss.
It was almost a loss.
And so many of your players elevated their games and showed why they were the better team. And Nick Sirianni just showed that he is still the weakest link, even though we've seen a few games where we're like, okay, he hasn't hurt them.
Let's
He
talk about
cannot. And now let's try to flip it, right? Is there a path from this tendency of Nick Sirianni to be ultra aggressive for no reason? Can he still redeem himself?
no, he can't. He can't redeem himself. I
Even
mean,
with the 6-2 record, he can't make any
this
good
this
decisions going forward.
this the thing. He was doing wild stuff in a 22-0 game. He'll do it at any given moment.
Mm.
Imagine what he'll do when we down and
Bro.
gotta make smart decisions.
He
The
was
re-
doing-
the only reason why we won that game is because the talent on the roster. We talk about all the good, right? We talk about Nakobe Dean. We talk about Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith had to catch one of the most improbable passes this season so far for us to win that game.
And 3rd and 22, by the way. 3rd and 22.
You feel me? And Jalen Hurts had to throw that ball perfectly. Those are low percentage plays. Nakobe Dean with a walk-off interception, that's a low percentage play.
Mhm.
That's his first career interception. So many low percentage things had to happen for us to win that game because the coaching malpractice. When if we would have played the game the right way, we running the ball out in that situation.
Yeah.
The game is over.
Yeah.
The game is over.
Yeah. The thing is, with Nick, we just don't know. It's too much of a wild card with
You
him.
can't trust him.
He did this. Okay, so we was up 22-0, right?
Yeah.
He did this same bullshit in a close game. He did this same dumb shit in a close game scenario. So you can't just say, "Oh, we was up, we was experimenting." He was doing this same malpractice in a close game against the Saints, where points were at a way more of a premium. Points was at an extremium. Okay, points was coming for $1 million, and he was still not taking the points in the Saints game. And then too, we can't trust that he's not going to revert back. We seen it.
Point.
He changed. He cut his hair and he changed his ways, and then he so quickly reverted back. Once that hair he started growing a little bit of hair back, a little bit of beard was coming back. Old Nick was coming back. So let's say he tightens up for the next 4 games. We don't know if he's going to pop back out in the bullshit in the playoffs. We don't know when he's going to pop back out.
I see why some of the players might have had smoke with him, particularly Jalen Hurts. I see why, because that type of coaching mindset leaves your players out to dry. Now they score because you don't want to take points. Jalen almost throws a pick because now you got to throw the ball. The one where it hit off Devontae's hand. Because now you have to throw the ball and be aggressive now. It was almost a pick. You know what I mean? It makes you have to play the game a different way now because now you're in a game now. You shouldn't have been in the game.
I agree.
You shouldn't have been in the game. You shouldn't have. If the Jags score and Nakobe Dean don't make that once in a lifetime play, because Nakobe Dean ain't no cornerback, bro.
Yeah, he ran the route better than the running back did.
So many things had to go wrong for that to happen, bro.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence had to throw a bad play. He had to run an excellent route. So many things had to go wrong. If the Jags score right there, you lose the game.
Yeah.
And then Nick Sirianni decides to play the game this way when you're visibly haven't got A.J. Brown was out the game. Why would you not be safer? Yeah. You down a weapon. A.J. Brown ain't even play against the Saints. Why would you do this? A.J. Brown didn't play against the Falcons. Why would you not take 3 points? One of your home run hitters ain't playing. Bro, man, listen, man, I'm going to keep it a beam, man. I don't think we can win a Super Bowl with the guy. As great as we are, we contenders, we all of this, we've been all of this before. I don't think we get our second Lombardi with him as the head coach. I don't care about his coaching record or none of that. He's had talented rosters, man. But plays like that, Mike McCarthy might be better than him. And they want Mike McCarthy gone in Dallas.